Villainous beats, villainous beats, villainous beats. Villainous beats, villainous beats.
In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world world makes. I'm needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick. They killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies. I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC. Pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League. What's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut. It's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger. Who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes. The new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Hey everybody, it's Thursday. I hope you made it through the week because I'm officially calling it. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. This is your man on the wall, Chris Fury. Thank you for watching. Hello over there in IG land, Twitch, and YouTube. And if you're watching from YouTube, thank you. And if it's your first time on the YouTube channel, show your love by hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. And you can also listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the Be On Air network. So check them all out. Leave a review. That's always helpful. You can always check us out on beyond the YouTube channel. You can always check us on Always Press Record. That's APR TV, alwayspressrecord.com on your Amazon and Roku devices. Shout out to Trey Lawson for Always Press Record. Coming soon to Blurred Station, BNN, the Blurred News Network. You're talking to one of the heads of the news core team for Blurred Station. Big news coming down the pipe. You want to listen out and check out for that as well. But let's get this ship rolling. Let's get it going. Navy, what's happening?
What's going on, man? How you doing, sir?
You got something special today.
Yes. So I have a good friend of mine who has done something. Her name's Pandora. She's on Instagram. Definitely shout her out. Amazing young lady. She's younger than me, so I call her like I said. So those who know me know that this is the symbol for the blurticorn, you know, the horns and the glasses and stuff.
Right.
So she did this for me, but my niece did this for me.
What are those wood plaques? Are they like wooden? Are those?
No,
they're
actual. No, they're actual canvases.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is actual paintings. They painted them for me.
That's dope.
So
I like those. You know, those look really slick. I like it.
Right? I was just like, oh my gosh, I love this. So I represent being a blurticorn all the time, even in artwork. So if y'all ever want to see me lose my shit and y'all decide you want to do something for the frosty beard, do stuff like this with the symbol. The symbol. What's going on, brother? I agree with you. I've already called it.
Yeah.
It's been that week. Woo! Oh my goodness.
You're talking about fighting sleep at work.
I will give you this. I'm about to clock out from work at the store, and as we're going, the POS system crashes. So now you got people buy stuff, register for the tournaments, and now we have to put all hands on deck. So I was supposed to leave at 6:30. I'm sorry, it's supposed to leave at 6. Yeah, that didn't work
will
out.
Crap out now. You know what? I won't be in tomorrow.
My day off anyway, so let's go.
So we got our boots on the ground, our connect in the building. Tafari TV, what's happening?
Yo, if it ain't
What's
obvious,
going on?
It's not obvious by the shirt. I'm sick of all this shit. It's been a week.
We're waiting on a certain set of things to happen so we can literally. I know you guys seen that meme where Denzel slams the door in somebody's face. Yeah, we're waiting on to do the jobs the same way.
Man, them aliens need to hurry the fuck up and come get me.
We want to take it to your leader. We don't care who it is. Can we leave with y'all? Is what I'm saying.
As long as I don't have projectile vomiting when I look at them, I think we're good.
Right.
If there are aliens, Earth has got to be the ghetto.
And I'm so ready to get out the ghetto.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's going on, everybody? Hey, Lizzie, what's happening?
Hi.
My very own second in command. What's going on? She's getting her study on, but we're keeping her
Good.
spirits lifted
Good.
as
Good.
well. What's up, Bama? Bama, no games from you tonight. No games from you tonight, Bama.
Well, see he wouldn't be Bama if he didn't, so we can't put him in that position.
Also true.
Please don't do it during my sign off.
Right. If you missed Tuesday's show, the last 10 minutes was a cavalcade in the comment section. So if you really want to comment in the comment section, you might want to go check us out on the YouTube channel. So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, titties. That's all.
That's all it was.
That is all.
It snowballed from there, and it wasn't even us. So Spartan, how's the engines?
What's up?
Sir, I'm digging the headband today, sir. I'm digging it.
I've got plenty.
Make sure you get the one for Ultimate Black Panther. So
right, which I need to pick that up. I need to go get my.
Oh, it is nice.
Pick that
It is so nice.
I was wondering. I was a little questionable about the restarting of the Ultimate Verse, but I'm okay with it now. So.
Oh, that how they did that. You know what? Let me shut up because
don't you? No.
Because I'll be over there tomorrow. We have a special guest with us tonight. We have Laura D from the Alluring Hour. She also is starting a new podcast with her husband. Allura.
Oh,
hey.
Oh my God, so good to see you again. OMG.
Yes, you too. I was trying to keep my mic on mute real quick because I had to make coffee.
Look,
Hey,
we have heard worse in background. So like coffee brewing it's far from it.
Just because you weren't here last week. Just because you were here on Tuesday, because it was titties. That is all.
What you been doing, Laura?
I'm well. I can't complain. I'm a little tired. Hey, I'm hella tired.
That's because it's that week.
Yeah, it's
that part.
In a week.
Before we get into the news, your new show that you're starting with your husband. Talk about that real quick.
So my new show, I actually started 2 new shows. So the first new show that I started is called The Adventures of the Space Blurs. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys are my inspiration. This podcast has been well, it was always a thought to do a sort of blurs type of podcast with my husband and my co-host, who unfortunately passed away last year. And so due to his death, we never proceeded or moved forward. And so this year I was like, you know what? He would definitely want me to go ahead and move forward because this is something that I have always wanted to do. And he just was always that encouraging factor for me. So anyways, I came up with the name of the Space Blurs because most of my favorite animes take place in outer space, or some of my favorite shows or movies take place in outer space. So I was just like, I'm definitely not from this planet, so it just made sense to come up with that name.
Oh no, we can't be. We can't be. Like we stay in the ship. We barely dock on Earth. It's just at this point.
I was in orbit around Pluto? Question mark. So yeah, that's how they got me.
So for those who don't know, me and Allura are already in Navy. Actually, all of us, we know Allura, and every time she comes on, it's her backspace that I'm always enthralled by. And I'm like, it called, what was it, last year when we did March of the Record Book? And I said, wait a minute. I said, you got Marvel Legends just lined up back there? She was like, oh yeah. And I'm like, and that's when we found out. And she was like, yeah, you didn't know? I'm like, no, I didn't know, but I was paying attention.
It's always great when people, like when we did the March of the Record Books, and you see our backgrounds, just like Allura saw mine, I saw hers. We were like, bitch, bitch, because we were doing that back and forth. We were like, "What's wrong with this?" Like, you see what she got? She got all of the Eternals, and he said, "He's got." And it went back and forth. I said, "You know what? When you're amongst your people, we lose our total collective shit, and we love it, love it."
You're right.
Yep.
Mhm.
Or Space Dandy if you really want to, or Outlaw Star if you really want to
Now
go
we're
deep with it.
talking.
I can't
Now
believe
that's
Now
big
we're
one.
talking.
I need to rewatch that now that it's I can't believe it's been 10 years since Space Dandy dropped.
Mhm.
Man, Space Dandy is classic. When they did that against Bruno Mars' song,
Dude, it was so
man.
slept on, but it was such a good show. That's one of the I think that and IGPX were like two shows that we got first, like stateside.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think that's something you don't really realize. Something that Tafara has really been pointing out. Thank you very much.
Dude,
How
Blame Reggie
how
and
many
the
many of the things that we love, and it's not like it was last year.
Mhm.
Not like it
No.
was. It's not like it was 5 years ago. He was like, "So this turned 25." I'm like, "Get the hell out."
Well, I'm just gonna knock them all out in one video in a couple weeks, but stuff keeps getting added to the list. So
You turn around and
And-
re-edit it.
and-
if you look at the movies in 2003, we were spoiled.
Yes,
So life was affordable back then because we saw every single one of them.
we had movies and the McDonald's dollar menu. It was life was great.
Man, come on,
Movies,
preach, sir.
Movies,
We
the
had
dollar
the
menu, and all the games that dropped.
Tasty too.
Somebody,
Right? That's when Sweet Tea was worth a damn.
Look at all the
Nowadays,
movies and games that dropped that year. We were we were thriving.
Yeah.
There was somebody made two different posts, and one was, remember this was the Biggie menu for Wendy's, and I'm like, damn, they did have the Biggie.
When Biggie sized me was great. The fries was crisp. The burgers was never dried out. The McRib was thriving.
And the value meal from McDonald's was life.
Man,
and only got like $10. That's more than enough. I was like,
you could eat for eight people could eat for $10.
Well, nowadays, if you want to make gangbang, it's gonna cost you, unfortunately.
Or we had to supersize because I always went to McDonald's. I'm like, definitely supersize me. That was the only time we got supersized was after we got our shots.
You see, Lord, it's though you look at, I've seen menus. They showed a menu, and it was like, yeah, this was like in 1987, and I look at the price, and I'm like, okay, I was just a kid, so I didn't have to pay for stuff, but I like, you got to be lying. You got to be lying.
Now that I got McDonald's, now I have McDonald's money now, but y'all didn't tell me I was going to need interest. So.
you need McDonald's, sir. It's McDonald's money plus a second job to get on the dollar menu with these days.
Oh,
put it like this: Chris and Spartan know the days when you saw that styrofoam container, not paper, styrofoam. You knew there was going to be a surprise in there. Oh, I know what it is. Oh,
yes. Now when people talk about did you know McDonald's had the secret menu? I'm like, biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
maybe I'll do one worse. Remember when McDonald's Sprite was drinkable?
Oh shit!
That shit's damn near paint thinner at this point.
That thing could take that
hydrochloric acid for $1.
Some kind of electric capacity in McDonald's Sprite that if used correctly, you could jumpstart a human heart.
Here. I'm gonna age this out. I'm gonna age this over here. You can use McDonald's Sprite and give it to Mr. Wizard.
So how do you guys feel about McDonald's charging $18 for a Big Mac meal now?
I'm good.
McDonald's can sincerely go to hell.
That's a regular menu or at the airport? Because I've only seen that at OIA.
No, it's some parts. It's some parts where it's $18, where a hash brown is $6. A McChicken is $6 by itself.
Inflation Donald's. That's a new one.
Can we go back to when we had Burger Chef? That way we had a choice.
Burger Chef and Red Barn.
Yep.
I was gonna say A&W because people didn't realize
A&W. Yes,
the people didn't realize the burger at A&W was bigger than the quarter pounder because Americans failed the metric system.
I've never heard of these places.
Yeah, so A&W, they used to have they used to have it was like an old school bar spot or burger spot. You pull up and the people come up to your car and they take your order. You know, they're best known for their root beer now, but that's where it started.
Was drive-in style.
Drive-in style. So you know, you will get, and I mean, you get some good food. Man. So you know, I went to Sonic, not a fan at all. Hamburger Station was another one.
Thank you for being lazy as hell. Thank you. I would not come back to Sonic. Thank you.
This is why Sonic got the idea from A&W. Was like, let's just do what A&W did, but we'll change colors.
Yeah,
that's all he basically
there was a spot in Akron when I was coming up. It was called Hamburger Station, and when my father would go to Hamburger Station, it was like it was before White Castle became a thing. Yeah. But their burgers were much better, and they had like curly fries and everything. And they would instead of you putting your fries separate, they give you this big old box, and you would get X amount of burgers. Like let's just say 20 burgers, 20 mini burgers, right? 20 mini burgers, and they just dump the fries in the box. So you know how you go. You know how you would go to like
they do a Five Guys style.
Yeah, you know how you go to the donut spots, and you would have a big old box of donuts.
Yeah.
It was one of those deals. So that my dad would bring it home, and it was 4 of us. So he bring it home community food style. And like ain't no paper plates. You just paper towels, go at it.
take that plastic cup and scoop out your share.
And then whatever was left, he just closed the box up, put it in the refrigerator.
Same, man. We had Crystals. We had like one White Castle in the state.
Shit.
That's
well, I'm from Indianapolis, so guess what? White Castle's everywhere, and I loved it.
See, that's what I'm so mad about because our White Castles are closing. Like we have only 2 locations in Middle Tennessee, and I'm mad about that.
I've only had White Castle from the store, from the grocery store. I've never
go to White Castle. I knew what it was because of Harold and Kumar.
Yep.
Right.
And we thank them for that because that's exactly what we used it for. Oh man, we got a little news. It was kind of popping for the past couple days, so
kinda.
Yeah.
Whiskey Tango.
So it's safe to say that we are Clan Physical Media forever.
Yeah.
So Funimation shut down.
That doesn't surprise me.
We got to April, but the sundown has been announced.
Once Crunchyroll bought Funimation, that was the beginning of the end.
So if you have any digital media that you bought through Funimation, unless you sail the high seas,
congratulations.
Welcome. Or you get really good at coding. Unless you get really good at coding, I feel sorry for you guys.
The crazy part is no one else has been noticed that Crunchyroll has been buying up the block for like 2 years because I used to get a lot of my stuff from Right Stuff Anime. If you go to that site right now, Crunchyroll bought them too.
Yeah.
So if you go anywhere that you normally used to go for anime that ain't the Breaking Out the Straw Hat, they basically tell you, nope, over there.
Yeah.
See, Crunchyroll needs to change they name their hibachi because they got everything.
It's crazy because Crunchyroll in the beginning used to be a pirate site. So look what money make a bitch do.
Wow, that's shocking.
Yeah,
wow.
I remember who you used to be.
But what's funny is when Crunchyroll acquired Funimation, all of us, I've had my Crunchyroll account since 2004. So I've had it for a long time. But when we heard that they were going to merge, they bought them, it was going to be a merger, all of us in anime swore up and down that we were going to have this access to this complete library, and they lied their asses off.
I saw that bullshit coming.
That's right, Lizzie. Keep on the seas. Stay on the seas.
Yeah.
I saw that bullshit coming on my site. We got the anime monopoly, and within a week, people was getting tossed left and right. Had homeboy from Mob Psycho. Yeah, the dude who plays Mob and Mob Psycho was like, so if we just gonna do this monopoly, can we get union pay? They didn't even respond. They just put out a statement. We look forward to moving forward with our new voice cast. And he's like, well, I guess I'm out of a job then.
They 86 him quick. God,
without so much as a response, they just said, and he's replaced.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing what we've been seeing through a lot of the streaming services, right? That we didn't really see it in the beginning. They were just like, oh, here's another way to watch said shows that you may not see anywhere else. What we didn't realize is that some of our favorite shows that they put Justice League Unlimited, Static Shock, Spider-Man, would pick whatever version of that. And you say, oh, I get to watch it all the time. I get to watch it whenever. I don't have to worry about it. It's easily accessible. But one thing like Netflix would do is they're like, oh, we're dropping this off, and you wouldn't care because it would be always a movie, right? You know, oh, I don't care if that's some movie. I didn't care if it's Avatar, whatever the case. I don't care. But then they started adding TV shows and, you know, and saying, we're moving this off. We're moving this off. This is what's coming in February. This is what's coming. And then all the other streaming services started following suit. It was just a matter of time.
Bunch of freaking copycats, man. Can't y'all just stay on your own?
The hard part is if you try to voice act and you have a bad experience with somebody, you kind of out of the whole industry.
But the thing about it is they follow the Disney plan. What did Disney do? Disney bought up all media that it could possibly could until it burst. And now they're selling stuff off.
And they lost Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, you lost Steamboat Willie. But Crunchyroll is basically doing the same thing. Now they're saying, oh, well, we can do this and make a killing. And they kind of pull a Dr. Evil. Who's going to stop me?
Basically,
that.
And then, well, who else did Sony do this with earlier? Because that's who's in charge of all this. It was what Discovery and the PlayStation purchase. So we've seen this. We've seen this play before. They just was like, all right, we're just gonna make the big move. And I just don't like that for 2 years now. No one is giving me a straight answer. I finally put something out. The next day is breaking news. Kiss my ass. Give me my credit.
I was going to tell you, Tafari. The moment you mentioned, I was like,
I just saw the IGN article. Fans upset. I'm like, it's me. 30,000 views later, it's me.
It's called watermark. Trust me. Whenever I put up a post now,
it ain't even. I put a blurred my watermark. It was just the info. It's like breaking news. I'm like when I broke it yesterday after saying for 2 years none of y'all would tell me, and I checked. 2 of my movies I have on Funimation are not over there on Crunchyroll. So I just got to pop the Blu-ray in. And before I hear from y'all again, if you go see the damn Demon Slayer movie, it is a compilation of episodes. You're not getting Mugen Train Part 2. I'm not doing this with you again. If you go see Crisis Core, though, that is a full feature-length film redone in 4K. Have fun. By the way, they're the same week. Plan your wallets accordingly.
So, Tafari, you have to let them learn. You have to let them. It
was just the amount of DMs I got last year. What was that? Well, I'm like, it said episode this, episode that. Why didn't nobody? Also, why are we so strict about who could go see the movie? What's with the gatekeeping at the theater? That's what tripped me out.
Because gatekeepers think I know it's better to do. You finally let them out of their mama's basement and they lose their total mind.
I'm not even them. I'm talking about like, apparently theaters are getting like some special instructions, like people over a certain age limit can't go.
Yeah,
so I got carded last time in front of my siblings to make sure I was old enough to escort them, and like this was happening like in front of people. And when my friends,
honestly, I think it's a good move. There are some people at certain ages shouldn't be watching certain things. I hate to say people like, well, my kid is fine with this. You're not the one growing up. This kid's growing up. You're grown. Shut the hell up.
There's certain things
theaters are going to start enforcing that.
But if you're a parent going to go drop your teenager at that, you might want to walk them into the theater. This is one of those. I was shocked when Neverworld told me about it. He's like, bro, I tried to take my daughter, and they told both of us no.
There's certain things that you just can't expose a kid to. You just can't. You can't. Right. And when especially when it comes to anime. Like when my son started watching anime,
Ninja Scroll.
I already knew about certain levels of anime, so it was certain ones he would watch, and I'm okay with that. You know, like he would watch the Yu-Gi-Ohs, the Digimons, the Pokemon. He would watch all of those. Then he started watching Fully Cool, and he was like,
Demon Slayer is kind of, it might toe the line, but I feel like it's kind of tame to an extent.
Compared to Food Wars?
Or like Devilman Crybaby or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I had to start putting passwords on my Hulu account because my son started watching an anime called Parasite. And
yeah.
I had never watched Parasite. I had seen it. It was one of those animes where I was like, it's not on my top to-do list, but I'll get around to it. And so he's in school and he's telling his friends, and his teacher calls me, and she's like, Miss Kane, your son is talking about a show that he watched called Parasite, and he's being very descriptive. And I don't think this is appropriate behavior for a 7-year-old. And I was like, let me go watch this anime. And then when I seen it, I said, oh snap. So yeah. Not all anime is good.
There was I knew years ago, and when pay-per-view was just still the thing.
That
and
part.
There was an anime, and it was in Montana Navy. You know this one, Wicked City.
Oh, I was just thinking.
I know that name.
One. Oh my god!
It's actually in the wait music that I play.
It's in the intro with the fight scene over by the fence at the airport.
So I read about. I had the description was a little different then. It just said rated R, and I'm like, it's a movie. It didn't say what was in it. It just said blood, gore, action, that type of stuff, right? So I'm watching this thing, and we're in one of the first scenes of Wicked City is the main character and his partner chasing down a demon, and this demon is a woman, and she runs into this tunnel, what looks like a underpass, only for her to be like a spider type creature.
Yep, Spider Woman.
And the webbing was coming from that place.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was coming from the hoo-ha, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the hoo-ha is active.
At that particular, I was like, oh, didn't know this was happening, but okay.
Here's the worst part about that. Here's the worst part about that. The unrated version is way worse.
It is.
Yes.
It is
way worse.
It is. And it was at that moment, my mother's coming downstairs.
Oh no.
Christopher, are you watching porn? No.
I promise I'm not. This was normal like 5 seconds for you.
I had no clue. I had no clue this scene was going to be in there, right?
Oh, Chris.
And then it got, as the movie went on, I was just like, oh God, don't walk back in here. I didn't know all this was going to happen. Because it got worse throughout the film, and I'm like, oh no.
I got one for you, Chris. And I know Spartan know about this. And I'm pretty sure Tafari and Laura might know about this. Demon City Shinjuku.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Good night, everybody.
I think the first gory one they tried to like rickroll us into watching a lot was Elfin Lied.
Elfin Lied. When I saw that, I was like, nope.
So, the first 30 minutes of Elfin Lied will let you know where you stand in life. It's like, no.
This was back in like the early 06 AMV days. This was the early AMV days of YouTube. So it would be like, see the Mangekyo Sharingan, because we had only seen one episode, and then it would clip into stuff with Elfin Lied. Yeah. It was like, this is definitely not the same show.
Yeah, it was. There was moments because Wicked City was probably the first anime film I had seen, and it was the first introduction of the old man trope.
Yeah,
because then after that, I stumbled across Dragon Ball, watched all of Dragon Ball.
Such a bastard in that.
Oh my God!
He was such a bastard.
So it became a trope, and if you watch anime, you know what the old man trope is. So. It was just, I'm like, wow.
All you hear is, she is so magnificent. Why don't you come over here and try this? She's wonderful. Come over here. What the hell? Like, young man, come on over here.
See, Laura, I do the same thing you do with my son. I have to, whenever he finds something, I have to watch it first because I can't depend on my wife because my wife is not as anime heavy as I am. So it's why. Like, he decided one day he wanted to watch Attack on Titan. And I'm like, you play Fortnite and you watch Five Nights at Freddy's. Watch one episode, then come back to me. And she's like, well, why don't I watch it? My wife watched it. My wife watched the first 20 minutes of a 30-minute anime. And she's like, I'm going to go back to my shows.
This is why true crime continues to flourish.
That's why we sent Kevin on stage to start his journey.
Oh.
Like I said, you have to be forged in fire. You must be purged.
But see, I'm curious. Allure, what was your first anime? What was your first anime? I know this requires a little bit of reminiscing. I know, this is where Mary J. Blige come in. Reminisce.
I'm gonna say that the first anime that I really, really remember, I'm gonna have to say Inuyasha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adult Swim days.
You see the headband right here.
Now, I've watched other animes, but I didn't know that I was watching animes. You watch something, you're just like, oh, this is cool, but you don't know what you're watching. But Inuyasha, I was really heavy on Inuyasha.
That outro will wake you up in the middle of the night for some
Everybody woke up to that.
It was the combo of that plus that's what I call music now. CD.
Oh,
right there with those
compilations. Be up this late. Why is it so loud?
It's either that or 3 a.m. preacher that wakes you up.
Oh Lord.
No, it's the Kids Bop commercials. It's the Kids Bop commercials for me.
Yeah.
So we mentioned Disney earlier, and talk about another major move they did. 1.5 billion stake in Epic Games, which means they are now a part of the Fortnite world.
Yeah,
they're about to own Fortnite.
Y'all really that kind of a rollout. You might as well just say, just work Sora in there somewhere. That was an entire Kingdom Hearts thing you just did.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't play Fortnite.
I'm just trying to figure out what don't Disney own. I'm trying to figure out if they own me too.
Themselves. They don't own them.
I think it's going to be less Fortnite-ish, and they're more so using Epic the way a lot of people made fan games in Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people doing stuff in Fortnite that isn't Fortnite, and I think that's the goal. And it's easier to cross all of them.
By the time you showed up, Nicole.
They're trying to emulate Fortnite. That's all it comes down to, because Fortnite, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, Apex Legends, and Overwatch.
Yeah.
All the sandbox games they're trying to emulate. So, Mickey's going to have a shooter sometime down the road.
Everybody's just like, how do you do this big we're crossing all the worlds, and not bring in the one person that's been doing it since like 2002.
Right.
This is why I play card games, because I ain't got to worry about this bug.
Y'all give Smash Bros a harder time than you did.
I did have to dust off my Magic the Gathering deck. I actually found it.
Nice.
I pulled my deck out like it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm like, as soon as I was at my parents' house, my mom's like, you left your trunk here. I'm like,
so you guys duel too?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I haven't in a long time. I don't. Navy is our card guy, but
yeah.
I haven't picked up a card game in Jesus Christ.
I am a fledgling Magic player, but I do play Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, Vanguard. I don't delve with Pokemon because they're weird.
It is weird.
At least in my area, they're weird, But
my entertainment budget has slowly shifted to getting stuff graded, so I just sent off 2 of my cards.
I have vacation money after them announced.
Now, I haven't gotten into the Magic, but I still do Yu-Gi-Oh.
Nice.
Oh, we got to meet to the table one day. Let's go. We got to meet.
My obelisk is next on the list.
Now I'm a sore loser.
Wait. Hold on, wait. When you say sore loser, do you mean like Monopoly sore loser? Or spade sore loser? Because
right, there's a level.
Uno or sore loser.
Wait. She said spade sore loser.
Go ahead, Spartan.
Did she say spade sore loser?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't play together. Nope.
He is she's people throwing.
It all depends on how many times I lose. It all depends.
It only takes one. I'm done.
Right.
So you know that Snoop has his hands in a lot of everything. That's
pretty much.
The man he knows how to make the paper. I'm just saying. I've seen his ice cream, which was Dr. Bombay. I've seen the ice cream at Walmart. I get to try it. By the way, shameless plug, Creamalicious is where I first started getting at Walmart. It's a black-owned ice cream, and it's absolutely delicious.
It's good.
If it's here, I'm going to go get it.
Their butter pecan. Jesus Christ.
I go to the other side of town where Candy B is at. I'm coming over there to the Walmart around the corner from you because I gotta get this ice cream. And she's like, Niggas say less. So
that is cracking a tub, and I'm all for it.
But Snoop and Master P have a lawsuit out against Walmart and Post Foods because both of their food brands are not being pushed and they're not on the shelves. Because I know Snoop has cereal, but I'm like, where's it at? You know, I knew Master P had some cereal out. Where's it at? I don't see it anywhere.
We've seen what Walmart did with the pink lady, but to be honest, pink sauce lady, she deserved all that.
Yeah, I mean,
she
come on,
deserved all that.
This is the same Walmart that tried to push out Juneteenth ice cream. Are we really surprised?
Yo, I forgot about that.
I didn't. I made a whole TikTok about that one.
They were rightfully cooked.
I forgot about that. That's why I'm more sane now because I forget certain things.
That was
the day off. Keep it pushing.
That was a TikTok I made. You know how everybody was using sounds and everything. Nah, I just had the look of disgust. I said, "This is what we doing. This is your game."
And then Halo
wasn't even the name brand stuff. It was the great value stuff. I'm like, damn, you didn't even put the high brand stuff.
So this is why
now you're just gonna come out Juneteenth very hard. They said it with their whole
at least
chest.
come up with an exclusive line and take the great value off it. You stupid.
No, great value. The great value just made it worse. It's like, have some great value Juneteenth ice cream. And I said, if your flavor is watermelon, I will
spare it. It smells like
it was gonna be red velvet cheesecake or something like that, but then they scrapped it.
It tastes like lies,
flavor
and freezer burn. That's what it is.
No.
And I'm just
guessing. With a capital
you
no.
Say what you say. You taste it. You're like, this ain't reparations. What is this?
Right. Don't taste like reparations.
They scrapped the entire thing, and then Halo was like, "Let me hold that design for our Black History Month colors." You know what? I looked over it. They used the worst model. It looks okay on the Samurai. I went through like the entire thing on Halo Infinite. Some of them look okay. They chose the wrong one wearing Michael Blackson's outfit from like next Friday for some fucking reason.
It didn't help that you saw. It didn't help that they took the clips from the boys with the A Train commercial, and they took Tafari. You called it
when he showed that in the group chat. That's the first thing my mind went to. I'm like, this is giving A Train vibes.
I was like, why does his head look like a dashiki? This is
just
you're getting teabagged immediately in the lobby the second you wear this shit.
Right. But again, with Snoop Dogg and Master P not having, I mean, their food's getting shelved. I'm like, what are y'all trying to prevent? Because technically, if it sells, doesn't that mean more people come back? People already don't like going to Walmart anyway. I mean, they don't like going, and yet I gotta go find a disgruntled worker just to get the stuff I want.
They really don't like going since they got rid of 24 hours.
Man,
24 hours was a dream.
That was everything, man.
I'll be there next week to pick up the marbles, and then y'all won't see my ass again.
That's it. That would be. You'd be like, it's 9 p.m. There's no one there. Let me go on in here and get stuff out.
I mean, think about a time where all of us sat there and said it is 12:30 in the morning, and I gotta go get some. I had to go get groceries. Oh wait, Walmart's open, and you see a whole different society come out.
It's quiet. You can. You hear the music. It's pleasant.
So the Bonnet Society.
The shelves are stocked.
I get
the Bonnet Society. Trust me.
I wish I would have welcomed the Bonnet Society. I get the fentanyl and crystal meth side of the group.
Jesus,
that's true.
Golly.
Speaking of the Marvels that Tafari brought up,
I thought you would say crystal meth.
One of the bright spots of X, yes, there's actually a bright spot. I think I somehow managed to change the algorithm. I ain't figured it out yet, but somehow I did it. And there's been a slew of posts of people saying, I watched the Marvels because it's on Disney Plus. I watched the Marvels. This is actually good. No shit. We told y'all this. We
came
said
out yesterday,
this,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday. We said this back in the summer when it dropped at the theater. This was actually fun. This is good. This is not what they're saying it is. We were out there pretty much the opening weekend. Shout out to Nia DaCosta. Shout out the entire cast of the Marvels. This spew, this hate. it's making me really want to go back and watch certain movies again. Like Black Widow's not bad, right?
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just bad timing. It was just bad timing.
They waited forever day to put that movie out.
Yeah.
Waited beyond
COVID, and then trying to just cop all the money and kick ScarJo out her own film. That didn't help.
Yeah.
That woman won twice.
They the Eternals. Just seen an interview where the guy that plays Klingo.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. I know you're talking about though.
He said that he was really disappointed. He was in a very messed up mental space because people were basically review bombing the Eternals. Now, I've gone on the record and said the Eternals isn't bad as far as the characters. It was the story that's slow. That's the slow burn.
You sold us on a star-studded cast and nothing else.
Yeah, because everybody that played their role.
Yeah,
like there's nothing wrong with the actual characters, but it was the story. You made it hard to care about the story, right? So yes, that it is. Kamali Johnny. That's it.
I didn't think it was bad though.
It's a little long. I don't know. I can't remember the runtime.
It's a little long. It's almost going up 3 hours.
I had to sit down and come back to it after a while because
I think if they would have gave us a little bit more action, and because you know how people are, we want to go see when we see Marvel movies, we're basing it off the Avengers, we're basing it off the Incredible Hulk. We want to see some action. And I don't think that movie had as much action as it could have delivered because the characters were written well. I think they picked great people for the cast that what they were cast for. I just thought that movie had so much potential, but they wanted to get this, like you said, the story out. They wanted us to have the background, and I just don't think we needed all of that at once. I think they could have broke that up, and we could have, had that over, multiple movies.
I think with it being such a slow burn, and then it being 3 hours, you feel that 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's not like Avengers Endgame where it's like there's a lot on the line. They hit the ground running and it's just nonstop.
But the story, but like you said, the story itself was a suffering. You didn't really invest in the Revenants. You didn't really invest in the Eternals, even though they tried to give a bit of backstory to them. But you didn't get enough time. You didn't really make them. The story didn't make them enough to where you cared. And if you don't have any personal investment in it, then at that point you're just basically watching a documentary with National Geographic graphics.
Yeah. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give that another rewatch from a different viewpoint, from a different perspective, and say, okay, let's throw everything else that I know out the window. Let's see the bright points. Because we already know cast completely fine.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
I can honestly say I enjoyed the movie immensely, and I'll tell you why I did. Because growing up with the comic and seeing Icarus and Sprite and all the other characters, none of them was any representation. And then to see this cast where the majority of them they had representation, and it really warmed my soul. I wasn't expecting to go from the comic because that's not Marvel's style. They're not known for taking the source material and putting it at its core what it is. I knew it was going to be a craziness, but I wanted to see it for myself. And from beginning to end, I enjoyed it. The only problem that I had was Marvel was trying to introduce a new group of characters, and they did it sloppily. Droog was a bastard. I hate. Oh my god.
Yeah. Then don't try to piggyback off of Endgame in the promos. Like, why didn't you up against Thanos? And I'm just like, okay, they was going Rumble, and then we just got
right.
And then ending. They ended on a meeting with Celestial HR. Like that just
that didn't make any sense. The whole
it was poorly explained, and it made it like you said, it made it hard to care, and especially after you're seeing Guardians.
Yeah, after we saw you made it lesser known comic.
Yeah, don't just take your biggest thing and be like, we're just gonna piggyback off of that. Rocksteady, you should have learned from that.
Yeah, Droog was a menace. He really was. But what's funny is you because all the main characters like Ajax, Icarus, Cersei, Gilgamesh, because if you look at him in the comic, Ajax was not a woman.
Right.
Ajax was a man. And
but then again, it's Salma Hayek. You didn't care. So
what was Fastos gonna do with the family that he was gonna outlive? That was my question.
Right.
That was
He will be reborn as Paperboy and sell drugs in Atlanta.
He's going
that's when Paperboy realized. He wakes up in the dream in Atlanta and goes, "What did you sell me?"
What'd you say, Sassy?
What did you say, ma'am?
He's burying him in the backyard like it's Rick and Morty.
Oh Lord!
Wow.
It's another me. It's another me. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. Our main topic tonight is Black and Canceled. So there are a slew of television shows, comics, movies, plot lines that were Black centered and canceled. And no, we are not talking about Homeboys in Outer Space.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Blurred's Eye View is a proud affiliate of Otaku Noir. Use the code Blurred's Eye View for 10% off on all items. With a different nerd-themed box filled with items made by talented blurs across the country, you surely will not be disappointed. Go to otakunoir.com. Otaku Noir, the #1 blurred mystery box company.
What's happening? Hair longer, money ain't, so pay attention. Last couple seasons on the show have been very busy, and just to make navigating that easier for you all, I've taken it upon myself to go ahead and clean up the channel a little bit. However, if you are here for just a specific type of content, or you're new here and want to see what we're about, highly recommend our playlist section for you. If you want to see us react or review movies, trailers, video games, and whatnot, that's up there. I get it, not everybody can sit through a 2-hour podcast. So if you just want to see what the best or funniest bits were from each episode, that's going to be our highlights section. If you want to see some of the cool guests we've had on for interviews, up here. If you want to see some of the cool guests we've got to interview IRL, over here. Also, yes, please do all 3 of those. Now, if you'll excuse me, still looking for answers on that.
It's always something with these celestials running around.
So legendary.
Right.
Before we get to the main topic, I got a trailer.
I was gonna say, yeah.
This one we didn't see coming. At all. We didn't see coming. So right now, Ryan Reynolds, the ball is in your court, good sir. I'm pretty sure you don't want to wait till Sunday. But with all that, this trailer is Knuckles. Did we see this coming? No, we didn't. We didn't even know this was going to be a series.
Y'all didn't know?
No, we knew about the movie.
We knew about the series.
I thought we all knew about the show. I thought I was expecting a surprise drop on Paramount. I've been waiting on this for a while.
You'll see. There it is.
He's drooling, y'all. Watch out.
You're an alien. You're super powerful. You recently saved the world with your friends. What do you like to do for fun?
Vengeance.
I was thinking more like reading or yoga.
Hey, buddy. Isn't it great to finally relax?
I am an Echidna warrior. I only remain on Earth because I made a vow to you and the Fox. So I made myself at home.
Nope, we are not turning our living room into some kind of gladiator fighting pit. What is Ozzy doing here?
He will be challenging his greatest enemy.
Is that our mailman?
This is the battle, so I will begin my quest. Come, Wade.
Well, most people think I'm a joke.
I do not make jokes. I make warriors.
Let's go get him. Knuckles. Without his little friends, he's vulnerable. He's the key to my newest creation.
You worked for Robotnik.
Bring me Knuckles.
Sorry, this lane is reserved.
You think you can take my power? Do I look like I need your power?
What are you talking about? Of course we need his power. It's the whole reason we're here.
You're mine.
I made a promise to protect this planet. I am ready.
Oh, snap! Someone's about to get slapped.
I think today is going to be a beautiful day.
Knuckles, help me!
You gonna rescue him?
No, he must learn to rescue himself.
First off, shout out to Kid Cudi.
Right.
My guy, I like the fact that he's picking projects that you normally wouldn't expect him to see in.
Mhm.
So shout out to him. Like this, I'm looking forward to that.
Goody Mob is getting paid again, y'all. That's all.
Yes,
that
they
is.
are.
Goody Mob is
really
getting
are.
paid again.
So
Yeah, man, Crime Mob.
Crime Mob.
yeah,
Crime Mob,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Somebody
was
said-
the hound. That was the hound. I was just like, oh, here we are messing with another.
Somebody
show.
said they used the Negro spiritual known as Nuck If You Buck and released the trailer during Black History Month. Peak marketing. Give whoever planned this a raise.
you got Idris Elba, Nucky Buck during Black History Month. They just hit the trifecta.
Yeah.
And they
Wow.
did it several days before Super Bowl Sunday. They was like,
Swifties ain't finna shit on our shine. Hell no.
Hey, why pay millions of dollars for 30 seconds of airtime? We just go ahead and do it for free.
Yeah, the Sonic fans are thirsting already. Give them something and they will eat at it.
oh, yeah. Like the
people are
news,
picking the
news they had,
references.
yeah, the news they had what last week was Jim Carrey coming back as Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
Now this week is the trailer for Knuckles. I'm like, oh, y'all just okay.
And they said this show takes place between the second and third movie, so we're not just throwing stuff out there just because this has a purpose.
Yes.
Paramount's emptying the clip, and I'm all for it.
So far, 2024 has been full of surprises and shockers.
And I'm not mad at it.
Me neither. I'm loving it.
Or the end of 2024 will be the ending of this filler year because
Like the stuff that's been happening, I'm like,
I kind of feel like what's
that on the
happening is-
I didn't have that on the bingo card, but I'm not mad that it's happening.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure 2024 is going to be the 9-9 taking over for the 2000.
yeah, that part.
and then if you've been like a Sonic fan, there's like hella references and stuff that you can catch too. Like I didn't see it the first time, but they have the hat from like the old Sonic OVA movie. And then I think Knuckles is going to learn to fly now. Is what the falling off the cliff scene was.
The gliding with style.
Gliding.
It wasn't flying. It's gliding. It's falling with style.
And then the broken robots and stuff. I'm guessing somebody found all the rings they lost in the Arctic.
Yeah,
it was the Hound. Now we know what he's been up to.
No comment.
I can't wait. Honestly, I'm hype as a Sonic fan since the beginning. This is a reason for me to go to Paramount legitimately. For a month.
He's like, I'm sold. Far said, I'm sold.
For at least 2 months, and then it's back to the high seas.
Right. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So
and then we maybe get Darth Vader as everyone's Darth Vader Shadow the Hedgehog.
Jesus. Yes. So we know that there has been decades of Black sitcoms, Black comic books, Black plot lines that have somehow not banned, because we are in the year of the truth, right? It gets aired again,
man,
but gotten canceled. and or an episode didn't get shown or for whatever reason, or they canceled the episode altogether. We never forgave you for living single. We never forgave you. We never forgave you for that. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But we're gonna do roundtable discussion and talk about certain projects that we've seen and had an affinity or love for, that we know even now people are looking, hey, revisit this, re-air this. And I know, Spartan, there was a list you had, and one of those shows that's on that list, I wholly stood by, because I'm like, yeah, this show was dramatic, but it was funny, and it took place in Philly. So I'm gonna let you have the floor on that one.
I'm trying to think because my mind just went brain dead. My mind just went brain dead just now. I was like,
that's been me all day, so don't feel bad.
Because I was like, okay, what was the list I said? I said
it was the PJs, Rock, which is the show.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the other one was that I agreed with. I said it was like,
I said, okay, I got it. Mayor, Rock, Sparks, the PJs, and Frank's Place. Frank's Place may be a little old. Frank's Place may be a little out there, but
shout out
Rock
to Tim.
Definitely. I was gonna put Rock as my one, because Rock got too real to the point to where they had to get rid of it.
They did get real.
Rock had some Rock was, if I was gonna give the true black sitcom, it was Rock, because Charles Dutton and
Ella Joy. It was Charles S. Dutton, Ella Joyce, and Rocky Carroll.
Yeah, before he did NCIS for all those NCIS fans. Before he ran NCIS for almost 12 years, he was actually playing the brother.
Lifetime commitment.
So for those who don't know what Rock was on Fox Network, another network I'll never forget for a lot of reasons.
And it was set.
It was. You said what?
And it was set in
Philadelphia.
No,
it was Baltimore.
It was Baltimore.
Hey,
it was Baltimore. That's why it was. No, it was Baltimore.
And Charles S. Dutton was a garbage man. He was a hardworking man, a blue collar guy, just doing the right thing, living in the city, just doing the right thing by not only his family, but the people around him. His wife was a nurse. He was taking care of his father because his father stayed with him, and his unemployed brother, Joey. But everything that went down in this show, it was either funny or real.
Dead ass serious.
And I mean, they dealt with issues and they dealt with real issues. They dealt with real issues. We're not talking about like the last couple years of Family Matters.
They covered a lot.
We're talking about kids getting shot, dealing with drug dealers in the city, just all types of men, because he had been living in his city all his life, and he just wanted to. He worked hard.
Yeah,
he worked hard. He come home to his family. He looked out for his neighborhood, looked out for the local kids in the neighborhood. And even the episode, and I seen the clip for this the other day. There's an episode where his uncle, who's played by he played Shaft,
Richard
Roundtree, and it comes out that Richard Roundtree's character, he was the uncle, and he was getting married. Well, it comes to find out his uncle is gay. He was married before with a woman, but he was gay this time around, and then he was getting married to a white man of all things, and it was just like, now you had Rock trying to deal with the fact that his uncle was gay, and he was okay with that. But then he saw that he was a white man. He was like, nah.
You pushing it.
Yeah, it was. The fact that, and the thing about this is
similar in Watchmen.
Yeah. So
I didn't see it, but I had heard about it.
But it dealt with real life issues,
And surprisingly, everybody kept wondering for the longest time, even when I was watching Rock when I was a kid, like, how long is this show gonna run? Because I'm not gonna lie, after the Clifton Powell episode where his character got killed off, I was like, that's it. You just
it was
set
at that
it up,
point
Joe.
after Clifton Powell's character played a local drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the crazy part. He was a local drug dealer who, by the end of his story arc, was coming back around.
Yeah.
Like he was realizing the errors of his ways and everything else, and like trying to stop another young kid from coming up the same way he did. And he was like, "You don't understand. I'm already out here. You don't want to be out here, young blood." That's how he said it, you know.
But at the same time, though, he still got shot. Still
Yeah,
get shot at the end of it all. Still got shot.
Rock was like, if Sanford and Son had a baby with Good Times, and then like every week they had a very special episode.
Florida Evans will always be the villain.
I gotta rewatch that show.
She will always be the villain.
If you knew,
she will always be the villain of Good Times. She is the villain.
So
funny enough, Florida Evans is actually my pastor's sister.
Dang.
We need to have talks about Miss Esther Roll. Florida Evans. Good sir. That it was just one of those shows, and ever since then, ever since I seen Clifton Powell, I'm like, he's playing the bad guy, ain't he? And I'm right.
And that's why Pinky moved it. That's why Pinky moved to pimping.
Yeah.
No, that was his drug dealer alter ego. He was like, you know what? I'm leaving Baltimore.
That was a crazy fan theory. Someone sat there and said that things got too rough in Baltimore, so he moved to Rancho Cucamonga and restarted Candace Pinky. Someone tried to sit there and say Pinky never left the drug game. He just switched states.
Oh man, Navy, what do you have?
I may have to go for some obvious choices here because, goodness, there was one show I was really excited about because y'all know I'm a fan of true crime. And most of the time we see these detective shows, these crime shows, they have a white and protagonist, and he is all about justice and he wants to make sure everything is right. But they did the remake of Ironsides.
The more recent one?
Yes.
Okay.
It was fucking amazing. And like you put him in the chair and you could tell there was some issues. The character had some issues, but he was still killing it. And I said, all right, Raymond Burr is not in the seat anymore. We got another actor. It's a black actor. He's killing it. And I love it. And I think black actors in true crime are more compelling because you can do more with their story. Because I'm sorry, nothing against white folk, nothing against white, but when it comes to drama and stress and situations like that, black people are a little more relatable in those situations.
That's the whole part.
And that's just me. And Ironsides was incredible. I thought that was one that should never have should have been canceled. Just like I felt like Constantine shouldn't have been canceled. NBC got scared.
Yeah.
NBC got scared. Fuckers.
NBC wanted grim numbers for Constantine.
Yeah, and you got to give the time. It's only one season. Give it a chance to fucking breathe. I think a lot of comic fans didn't even realize that Constantine was even on NBC.
Right.
They had it at a death slot.
Everybody was to be on the CW.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy to see him. I was happy to see it. And of course, Lovecraft Country. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For so many damn reasons.
I almost threw my doggone laptop just now.
So many reasons why that show. Somewhere Misha Green was like, "Oh, I was about to put my foot on their neck."
If they never canceled the show, Jonathan Majors would have his job still.
Right?
A word was preached.
I did like seeing the reverse. I like seeing
the microphone with a brick just drop, boom, just bars.
I did like seeing the nitpicking rage.
I'm just saying.
I mean, he kind of messed me up when he was trying to run in Gucci loafers. I'm like, bro, you let a napkin hawk you.
Like shake moves.
And for that we
shame.
Again, I don't feel like he was running. That looked more like a frolic to me.
Again, why are you frolicking when your life is in danger? See, that's the kind of dude you don't want with you when you're in the woods trying to escape a killer.
Well, maybe it's because he was frolicking because he had loafers on.
See, I'm not gonna lie. That'd be the moment I pull it.
He
I'll
was
pull a Shanky Walking Dead that
one
moment.
stride. He was one stride faster than Professor Snape when he walked into the room.
Ready
Ready your wands.
Just
that left bunion on his foot was hurting him. You know them expensive shoes be hurting. And you know you have to order them an extra size smaller.
He's dead, man.
Those
he
shoes were
ran
not
with
designed
he
for
ran with an
socks. That's
ascot.
all I gotta say. Those shoes were not designed for socks. Okay.
How you gonna try to run in loafers and an ascot? It kills me. I'm like, bruh.
I did like the people who tried to nitpick Lovecraft every week, and it's just like, this is not a conversation. You can look, you can listen, you cannot participate.
Right.
I remember there was
we in class right now. That's what we.
There was a lighter shade of a certain community when Tick found out who his daddy really was, and it's like, this show needs to be boycotted. I'm like, I've learned a new racial slur every episode of this show for a new group of people. This is where we draw the. Now you're upset.
They even
I
taught.
was hearing words for Asians. I forgot you even existed.
They even taught you the black person fire alarm system. Where Journey came through there. We need to go. No questions was asked.
No, that's not what she said.
That was the
we
moment
need to
that
get the fuck out of here right now.
That was what got everybody in my house. They was like, you see how they didn't ask, they just followed her.
They just took off. The black
the only disagreement they had was like, I'm driving, but they were still moving in the same.
Right.
Nobody stopped. They still kept going.
You can ask questions when everybody stopped.
He's like, I need to drive. No, she's already behind the wheel. Shut up. Get in the car.
Right.
Yo, for real.
All right,
but that's just me. Because anytime, because I was reviewing each of the episodes on my YouTube channel, but anytime you start an episode by looking at the camera and saying, fucking Montrose.
Damn.
And go back. It's right there because that's exactly what I did. I sat in front of the camera and went, fucking Montrose. And that was it. That was like one of my highest watch. They were like, why is he oh yo.
But they did cover some areas, and I'm like, not only did you get a little bit of history, you had some hot topics come up, especially with old girl wanting to be a certain complexion. She wanted so bad.
Racial identity, yo.
Homegirl.
I was like, this what we doing?
She went during the exorcism. That's the first time I've seen somebody cuss out a ghost and they leave.
Right.
Okay. Get the hell out of my house.
Right.
With the Negro spiritual, with the ancestors along with. I'm like,
see, anyone watching, let me break this down to you really quick. You can put mysticism, you can put the occult and all type of that in a show that doesn't have to have fucking vampires and werewolves. Still have a good story.
Pretty much.
When those
we got more vampire stories to do anything else, I'm like, wow, get the fuck out of here, okay?
Yeah, when she went off, and because they was trying to chase her out that house, and she went out there and tore up them cars, all them brothers was like, all right, let her do her thing. And then they heard them sirens. They had a whole thing set up. They was just like, all right, sister backed up the truck. Throw your weapons in the car. Let's go.
Now that is called unity. Like, we can't be caught with this heat.
Nope.
we just sat there and saw some. We sat there and shit went down. We must get rid of the weaponry.
She was like, I know I'm getting arrested, but we're not gonna have these weapons around, so we ain't gonna give them reason.
Facts. That's what we used to do when we party. We get into it, we pass all the weapons to the nerd cousin, which happened to be me.
The least suspected one.
So we know now. We know what your role was in the whole thing.
So you are aware of the policies and procedures. You are aware.
Right.
We hadn't yet upgraded to the hidden hatch that Killmonger's daddy had.
Oh man. So yeah, that show. It wasn't just a little history lesson. It was a lot of history.
That was, like someone said, why do you need fictitious horror when you have history?
That moment when she's having a house party and Dee and her friends are in the basement, and I'm looking at the one kid and I'm like, why does he? Oh God,
it was Emmett.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because I was like, I recognize certain things, and then he was like, when they said, "What are you gonna do this summer?" and I'm like, "Oh, baby,
I'm
no."
going to Chicago.
I was like,
I'm
"No,
going to the
no."
South. I went,
Right.
That just messed the air right up.
But you know she wasn't playing when Homegirl went out there with that bat and she done sweated out that press down.
Yo, that Shogoth. Yes, man. That Shogoth had me.
Came right on time. I was like, yo, not to... Oh, he made it.
Oh, when he sat there and went for them, and they're like, "Oh, so in real life they would avoid us."
Yeah,
I feel like that Key and Peele skit when zombies only went for white folks.
Me and my wife almost threw our voices out when we seen that scene, like because we were just like, "Oh, damn, not the Showgirls too," and then went right past them and went straight. I'm like, yeah.
Which goes to show you what black folks in nature. If you leave nature alone, we might as well be invisible.
Period.
Yes.
American Gods too, Bama. But it's like we gonna cancel this shit, but we use it to promo every app we want you on.
American Gods.
And not just any Shogoth, it was a black Shogoth. Okay, we're gonna put it
to leave it to Orlando Jones on American Gods to just
shout
okay,
out to Orlando Jones who made that show watchable.
First person to get fired for doing his job too well.
He was preaching every time.
How the hell you don't have fried chicken in here with me? Like I'm was participating in this shit. I love
Allura
it does a role.
Oh man, Allura, what show or comic or movie do you think was canceled way before its time?
Black Panther.
I'm not sure if you guys know this show, but it was created by 50 Cent. It was called For Life. I love that show, and I was so disappointed that they canceled that show. I just felt like that show could have been a move in the right direction as far as telling stories that goes on with the legal system. And you know, these young black men.
It was done so well.
It really was. It really was. I loved how it represented us as intelligent. Not only was this guy smart, but he was a successful business owner, and it highlighted the corruption that really happens every day. And it tells a tale of so many black men who are probably sitting behind bars for some of the stuff that really happened, happened like in that show.
Yep.
And I was disappointed. I just felt like they knew that show was going to be a movement.
I'm gonna tell you why, because it's one of those shows that hit a little too close to home. It's a little too real, and like you said, it's just like with those Innocence Project and all those other legal firms out there that go and research possible cases.
Yeah,
they don't want to sit there and change that perception that, oh, wait a minute, maybe 80% of people who are incarcerated really don't need to be there.
Because then you get upset like that Mississippi police chief.
I was just gonna say, how dare y'all turn your lives around?
Right? How dare y'all?
You need license plates, damn it.
You got the nerve. We were like, you have the nerve. Yeah, we do. We do.
We got contracts to fulfill. Get back in here.
So yeah,
that's why the Innocence Project will never be out of work.
No. Especially when you see situations where, and I seen a video today where a brother down in Florida ended up having, because he was late, he overslept and was late for jury duty. And they gave him 10 days in jail and a year on probation.
What the fuck?
A brother who has no priors, no warrants, no prior records of any kind, actually is a community activist for children and everything. And he stated, he's like, I seen things in that jail that I should not have ever seen. And they've marred him. And it come to find out the judge no longer on the bench. Because they actually took a look at some things and were like, oh, no.
Looked at his rulings and saw that, wait a second, how are you able to, that's the first time in what? I was kind of following that story. 20 years a Florida judge was ever reviewed by the bar and then disbarred and possibly bringing criminal charges against him.
Yep.
But did they rescind this young man's charges? Because I the last time I heard him speak, he said he's just hoping that when he applies for a job, no one holds that against him. Did they rescind these charges or wipe his record?
Was his record expunged?
I don't know. I didn't catch the rest of it because they didn't have it listed, of course.
They didn't have it listed, but more than likely, with most things that judges rule on, that if he goes back and appeals it, then they usually just go ahead and expunge it because of an unfair ruling. So,
for those who don't understand what we're talking about, the end of Medea goes to jail.
Yeah, there you go. Without the Christian upbringing or the light skinned dude with the bad wig.
Notice he said the end. The end.
Just the part where there was like, damn, she's been just lying, cheating on all her cases. Free everybody.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds about DeSantis. I'm pretty sure somebody got a root out on that man. Like,
oh no, that's
a tree falls in your house conveniently the day after you leave. Somebody was out to get you.
Yeah.
Yep. God.
Florida has its own. That's part of why we love Lovecraft Country, because I'm just like, yeah, some of this is just like stuff that happened right up the street. We're not supposed to talk about.
Man. Yeah. that wasn't the only reason. The other reason was like, oh, we get not only we getting some history, but we get our comeuppance.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. That's a nice. It's a fair. It's not a fair trade, but you know.
I mean, even in my hometown, city markers, canceled festivals. There's some people there who are still mad at me behind all that shit.
Oh, it was the Google searches afterwards for me when the show went off. What is a sundown town? I'm like, if you've been in the South, you know exactly one sundown town in your state that you've known since you were a kid.
Yeah.
I graduated from Ocoee High School. I didn't learn about the Ocoee massacre until like 10 years later.
Oh, it's the sundown towns. It's the man-made lakes. It's the
they call them the Lake Town.
Yeah.
Which I need to find that trailer because that is a horror movie now. That's an actual horror movie. Yeah, they made a horror movie for that. So
because it was a horrible thing that happened.
It's a horrible thing to happen, but it's going the way I think.
They are fighting a losing battle, and I'm there front row for all of it.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Just go boogie boarding. You go right ahead if you want to.
It's gonna be wiped from history.
Yeah.
The way
I know that. Adila Gap was saying I went to Huntville and I was told not to leave campus. Like, yep.
Mm-hmm.
There are some spots in Bama. I remember there's some spots in Tennessee. Like Pulaski's a good one. Pulaski, I used to tell people, don't go to Pulaski if you black. Like at what time? None. At all. Right.
Well, I believe it was the NAACP president who had told black people be hesitant when coming to Florida because Florida actually still has sundown sundown
towns. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife was talking about that. She was talking about moving to Florida. I'm like, no.
That was my grandparents when they first moved to
very active too.
That was my grandparents when they first moved to Ocoee. All of our church was like, okay, but why? Like. It was like unwritten history. Now there's a historical marker. And what they tried to do was on like the 100-year anniversary of the whole thing that jumped off, it was going to have this thing called it's called the Music Festival. It was called Founders Day. Every year they used to try to make us volunteer in the football team for fucking Founders Day. And nobody would want to volunteer because we have a mostly black football team. So once it came out what Founders Day was actually celebrating, and they're like, we don't mean it like that. And then it's like, well, we celebrated niggers. And I'm like, look up photos from 100 years ago. Ain't a fucking Caucasian in this single town. Y'all stole this shit, which you don't talk about. The person who jumped all this shit off is grandfather, or the granddaughter of the person who jumped the shit off is married to your fucking mayor.
We're not celebrating no Founders Day. You see scary movies.
Oh, they came with T-shirts and everything to City Hall. We're celebrating the miners and the diggers. I'm like, Nate, find me a fucking mine in Florida right now. Go dig and see if you don't hit water, please. Meanwhile, they have one of the grandchildren of the whole thing, speaker was like, yeah, all y'all are lying. Can you like stop with this, please? And now they've renamed the whole thing, and they are pissed about it every year.
Let's see.
I get mean mugs every time I go back, but I'm just like, y'all not gonna do shit.
Tafari, you had 2 episodes of a show, well-loved shows that you wanted to mention.
So I just got done watching. Don't shoot me. I didn't know there was a whole second season of Black Dynamite till like a few years ago. I just watched The Wizard of Watts, and I see why Cartoon Network was like, we don't want that attention right now.
I didn't catch that. What was the name of the show?
Black Dynamite.
Black Dynamite.
The animated version.
The finale of season 2 with the police brutality and beating on little baby Rodney King.
Yeah.
First off, and I'm shouting out our guy. He's friend of the show, Carl Jones. Immaculate job. I was really upset that they canceled Black Dynamite.
Look, I thought they were done at the Michael Jackson episode. I thought the Michael Jackson.
They kept going, but now that we've seen how that interview
That's Frog Curtis.
Seeing how that interview went and just reading those transcripts, I was just like, okay, because this was somebody who was saying that's what it was for me at a PWI while all of that crazy stuff was happening in real life, was looking for somebody who was emulating what I felt. So sad I didn't catch it in real time, but everything Carl said during that interview was valid.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you get in the black man mode, you don't realize until you come down. Or the
black man mode.
The dude in the hallway is looking at you like.
He did tell us a story about Tyler Perry, and that man had a reach.
And let's face it,
it's looking a little bit grim for
after that interview with Monique.
Yeah, that's
everybody's hood credit scores at negative 2,500. And it's funny because Pause is on HBO Max, but the Uncle Ruckus, the Racist Records episode is nowhere to be found. Which is even funnier because T-Pain just said the thing about like, it's so racist in the country industry. I don't even want the recognition. Just give me the money. Keep my name.
And he wrote credits on it. He didn't want the writing credits on those songs. I'm like, that says a lot.
That says a lot. Yeah, right. Facts. You owe me a soda.
Like T-Pain was like, look, I done took some L's. I don't need this right now.
But yeah, seeing how it's like, okay, you can put in a cartoon, but if you speak up too much, we're just gonna get this out of here. And then seeing because I remember Spartan mentioned it the first time I watched y'all was the MLK episode being on CNN. And then I found those transcripts, and Al Sharpton was showing his whole ass.
Will you, ignorant, please shut the hell up?
Martin Luther King, if he was alive.
Here's the thing. Prior to the show, I was watching the 24-hour Boondocks run, and that was the episode that was just starting before I had to stop it. I had to stop because we were going to get ready to go live, and I'm like,
Mr. Chocolate here. But yeah, when I heard Spartan mention, I was like, I wonder if I can find that one too. And I'm like, I'm just reading it, and I'm just like, yep, this is Al talking like Al. And then didn't Al say like didn't they want like a piece of it beforehand and then threaten to come out against them later or something?
Said he was gonna. He's like, I like the show on Cartoon Network. He's like, but if they don't do that, I'm like, so nothing else bothered you.
Right.
Except that part.
I couldn't help but notice the little slick shit at the end when he was like, by the way, you know that parent company's Turner K by. I'm like, oh, you raggedy bitch. Like that's like when you try to go above the network to the parent company, which is like what caused the whole BET controversy. That shit was still funny. That was just
privilege to writing a letter to the manager.
Yeah, exactly. they really ain't gonna look at it. They just
But yeah, those two, which if you're watching this, I ain't gonna make y'all do all that reading. I'm gonna just say pause, look at it, keep going. But talking about what was the show that you said it was y'all talked about earlier? You said it was getting too real.
Oh, there was a lot.
Rock.
Rock.
So I would say my modern version of Rock would have been the Carmichael show because I watched the first two. That show's never coming back. Everybody's getting too much money now. But for what it was, they was dealing with like identity, school shooting, like not school, but like mass shootings.
This is part of the transcript for that.
They covered depression, shootings, pregnant.
Suicide,
forceful pregnancy because. Loretta Devine's character wanted a grandchild bad enough. Like, she did not
David Allen Greer becoming a Trump supporter. Like all of that was like,
I was just like, yo, this is funny, but at the same time,
they were hitting a lot of real stuff.
They were hitting the nails on the head on that one.
They hit a lot of real topics, and then they were like, they hit a lot of real stuff real fast, and they were just like, all right, you're done. And then Rail got his own show, and I saw an interview with Gerard Carmichael where he was like, it got canceled. He's like, that was supposed to happen. I kind of didn't know what he meant by that, but then when you look at certain shows, I like having representation. Some shit is supposed to fail though. Like I wanted the Cleveland show to be good, but we have an all-white voice cast.
Other than Sanaa Lathan.
All white writer.
You know, the shocking part was when everybody heard Cleveland and actually saw the voice actor for Cleveland. It's like, really?
The role
I swear to God, that when that show started, the hospital I worked at in Akron, there was a guy, I swear to God, his voice was just like Cleveland Brown. And me and a couple other co-workers, we were like, wait a minute. That sound like Rudy. That looked like Rudy. And I'm like, his name is Cleveland Brown. Hold the fuck up.
But yeah, shows like that where it's like, okay, here's a black family story, but we got a white cast and all white writers. And then I thought of it again when they brought up Malcolm and Eddie. He's like, it's me and another black guy owning our own business, running our own company, 12 white writers. What do they know about being young, gifted, and black?
That part.
And then when you have shows that are able to be that, you get shows like Blackish, which there's an episode that was basically put in the Disney vault called Please Baby Please, and I think they just went too hard on Dope 45, because if you watch it, the beginning of that season is an entire episode teaching Juneteenth. Once we got to the real life issues, they tried to say it was Colin Kaepernick and the whole kneeling thing that got it shelved. But when you watch it, I think he was just being a little too real for him, especially when they got to Lawrence Fishburne's character. He was like, I'm scared too. He was like, I used to watch these people be cowards with Klan hoods on. Now these biggest walk around with khakis and camera crews.
Now that's his character from Minnesota. That's his character from Boys in the Hood.
That's really what it felt like.
He said he jailed that dude back.
So it's like, okay, we talking about history, and that's really what kind of started my whole Juneteenth journey, was when I saw people getting outraged about that episode. And then they're like, well, here's one that's so controversial, we're just not going to show it. The Kaepernick stuff was like 2 minutes of the entire episode. It was really just about being a black family during that time in that presidential era, along with the kneeling athletes, and on top of everything else, and just making sure your family is okay. And then they made Kenya Barris do this whole rollout about like, we're so happy to have it unshelved. And I'm like, yeah, because if ABC or whoever's in charge was to do this rollout, that we would have lit their asses up.
Yeah. Because
you had to have a blackface to it.
Between the Juneteenth episode, the presidential episode, when they got real, they got real.
That was one of the first clips that made me watch the show.
And I was just like, yeah. And I'm like, when like they took the comedy out of it, and they just went and when Dre starts describing like when President Obama gets out the limo and he said the feeling, and I'm like, fear. I know that feeling.
Just waiting for somebody to come snatch that away from us. Yeah.
He's that part was the part that got me. It's like he said for a moment, for a moment where I felt joy, I felt celebration, and then I followed by fear. Like, what if this man gets taken out in front of us? What if we lose the one thing? I was like, God, this went from, like y'all said, happy and good. And I'm like, good Lord, we just went to realism. And
just
but you know the funny part about that is, Tafari, about that?
What?
Napkins got more offended than we did.
When I shared it to my page, I was like, I'll go check it out. And people's comment, people I ain't talked to since high school, it's not that serious and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, do you see the title of the show is called Black-ish?
Right. But
then, which even with a title like that, lets you know, hey, y'all can talk about history in Juneteenth. If you get too real, there's still somebody who don't look like it's at the top that can go over there. That makes me uncomfortable.
Right.
But had the nerve to complain about it. Like, this doesn't apply to you.
I mean,
you ain't say nothing when you've had Bibles as presidents. When the Quran comes in, all of a sudden now y'all want to act dismissive about it.
And then
my
the
favorite thing is, why do they play episodes like this? This just keeps division. It's like, what?
I love when they. I love Laura. Laura, I love when they say that, and I'm like, it's always funny. The ruler that always divides is always the one causing division.
Mm-hmm.
And they get real quiet. I said, "Oh, don't. Oh, what? I got your tongue?"
It's like that. Family Guy. It's like when Family Guy had the choir songs, like "Please don't free the slaves." It's a bad idea. We're afraid they'll get back at us, and that's our biggest fear. Hey,
oh my god!
I'm like, whoever's in the writers room for that, thank you.
That in the episode where it opens up and they see the little crying white baby on the elevator, and Dre and Deion Cole's character and the other intern. Nope, they all had the same reaction. I'm like, I'm not mad at him about the reaction at all. It was just like,
it was the team meeting. Hey, Dre, look out! Somebody's laying traps.
If that wasn't
it's when Deion Cole comes in, he was like, "Oh, sorry, I was late. It was a little white baby on the elevator. I had to take the stairs."
That and when the episode, he's like, "You know what word I miss? Colored." And Deion Cole just pulls out a gun. So what? Yeah, man. Boondocks, Blackish. It doesn't matter how hard you go with it or how funny you make it. At some point, if they don't like it, they can still be like, shelf in the vault with the old Disney DVD releases.
Yet New Girl seems to be getting revolutions everywhere else.
The baby trap. Yeah, it was the baby. That's what I said.
Yeah, the baby trap.
The baby trap.
Oh man, Cinematic Assassin. What piece of media do you think that was Black Center should have never been canceled?
You said I didn't hear what you said.
I was asking you what Black show, comic book, or episode that should have never been canceled.
Same question he asked you.
This might
not
be
I worded it
as a Black show, but it's a Black show. That was Reboot.
That's a Black show.
Yeah.
Bob was running around with locks. That's a Black show.
I feel like it was a little too ahead of its time, and then I think they just didn't want Negroes and computers associated. So it was like, hey, we did 2 seasons, y'all. Cut this.
This is why This is why we say Reboot was a Black show. Bob was running around with locks.
IT field.
That was running around with curves, and she had the Halle Berry cut, which was popular at that time.
That's true.
Enzo turned around and he had the glow up because he ended up walking around, started looking like Cable after a while with a dog. But that's what that was. We were just like, yeah, that's pretty Black.
Between Reboot and people trying to put music on their MySpace page, there'd be so many just Black graphic designers and engineers that it's ridiculous.
What if MySpace blew up and Facebook disappeared? We'd have a different society right now.
We did Tom so wrong.
He gave us everything.
You guys be shocked, but I've never had a MySpace page.
You're better off.
Everybody had. You learned coding.
You learned coding.
You learned coding through MySpace.
You learned basic HTML.
Coding, yeah.
What did you learn through Facebook? I'm just saying, like, there's no building
where the intros are.
Yeah.
You just learn where all the hate groups learn to retype the opening so you can find them. It's like we don't hate Black people. We can't stand dark chocolate.
I learned about unintentional racism on MySpace.
Dang.
I learned on Facebook that everyone is an English teacher and they're going to correct your grammar.
Ooh.
Yeah. I've seen posts on Facebook and I'm like, did they really write that? I can't even read that.
Some of them wrote War and Peace. How you gonna write War and Peace in a post and expect somebody to read it?
But listen, this be me, y'all. I be walking and texting like this. This how I be like this. Post. Then I go back. It says, y'all don't even want to see me. A B B B B B A. I be like, I go back like, what the hell?
It's worse now. They just use abbreviations. Everything is abbreviations now. I'm like, how lazy of a bitch you got to be.
Yep, TDRL.
Oh, you're not talking about the abbreviation where if you black you can read this, which is the.
I hate those.
Pretty much, I can read it. I can read it very well.
I'm like that one. It's that one, and it's like I had a conversation with my younger nephew, and he's like I need to get a Bev. I said a Bev. He says, yeah, I'm gonna grab a Bev. I said, do you mean a beverage? Well, yeah, a Bev. I was like, what society is teaching y'all about abbreviations is not right.
See, and I be like a baby. Look, my husband be looking at me like, what? Because he don't know. He be like, I don't understand Ebonics.
Like,
he really don't understand Ebonics. Or
let me get a drink. There you go.
I'm like, I'll know. There's the whole conversation between what do you call a cold drink and pop that'll never go away. But Bev though, Bevy, it's like hearing Bay. Like if I hear my wife call me Bay, I'm just gonna look at her like, really?
There's something certain generations will be able to do because if this earth goes to shit, okay, and there's still livable habitation somewhere on this planet. The only way to be coded and get secret messages around would be in cursive. If you can read,
that's true.
If you can read in cursive, you're good. Come in.
Yep. Do they still teach cursive in school?
They do not.
They do not.
And unfortunately, I never even taught my kids how to write in cursive because I assumed they were going to learn in school like I did. So every time my son has to sign for something, he has to print it or I have to write it in cursive. Now I'm teaching them now, but it is hard. Like it is hard to teach them. I wish I taught them when they were younger.
Here's the other thing. I can see the dystopian landscape now where people are out and they're just like, we need to get indoors. Why? The street lights just came on. We need to get indoors now.
Oh, that confuses kids now. It's like,
what are we doing? And we're like, get indoors now.
Imagine a dystopian future where you see factions go to each other and say, hey, we need to get a message out. All right, summon the calligrapher. Make sure
it's the calligrapher.
I need a message. Whatever you ask, master, I'll be more than happy to do it for you.
Oh wait, it's more funny. Give a kid a non-smartphone and just look on their faces.
Give me a Nokia phone from back in the day. Here's a phone.
You talking about a durable ass phone? If don't let it go. Don't let me find one. And I'm like, I think we can get the message out. Why? I have a Nokia phone now.
I did one worse. I had one of my old Nextel phones, and I was like, I gave it to I let my nephew look at it, like, here you go, here's a phone. He goes, where's the apps? I said, there's none. but why do you have this phone? To make calls.
That's lucky there was Snake and Prince of Persia.
Here's the thing. It makes calls. And you'd be like, but they're gonna be out during the day. Wait till after 7.
Right.
I still have all 3 Razor phones. I still have all 3 of my Razor phones, and my next door neighbor's daughter she looked at me. Said, that's what she asked me. Said, what is that? I said, it's a phone. No, it's not.
That's a phone.
Attach a tether to it is a weapon. See, it has many purposes.
True.
Bust out a ham radio. That'll really mess them up. Bust a radio, bust out a CB radio, and be like, you can try. You as a kid, you can talk to truckers all day, and it doesn't bother them.
I'm quoting Uncle Fury from the Marvels. No touching shiny new shit. Just don't.
I had to remember to pick that up. I do not trust ordering from Walmart anymore.
You guys know that though? I literally would trade in my iPhone for Sidekick because my Sidekick, I used to thought I was the mess. You know what I did? Man,
yo, I'm seeing videos from the early 2000s, and just like, and it's Nelly, and I'm like, yo, I forgot about the damn.
T-Mobile had a whole. No, I'll say this: T-Mobile had a whole advertisement for free. Because I think what was that Sidekick in like 11 different music videos?
Mm-hmm.
Folks use it. That was the most free promo ever. It's like when you don't feel like talking, text.
Yep, Primeco company. Legend of Chamberlain Heights.
Yep.
Sprint PCS. Come on now.
When Sprint was actually when Sprint went. Oh God, kids don't even remember Sprint these days.
Or the chocolate phone. Everybody remember the chocolate phones?
What's that?
Bro.
I remember
She said video quality wasn't 1080p, it was potato.
Get a 240p or bust.
There are two things that I look back in media that I wish we still had. Actually, three things. One, the Sinbad show.
I had it on my list. It on my list, dude. Let's go.
And when I mention the Sinbad show, I would be remiss if I don't mention A Different World.
Man. But those two shows, Positive References, Full Block Ensemble.
And they touched on some racial issues and a lot of other issues too. So they didn't shy away from it.
A Different World actually had white people. We let white people come to Hillman, and guess what? We didn't fuck with them.
I never did like Dean Cain after that.
But you know what? Dean Cain is like that.
After that episode.
Dean Cain was not acting. That was just him.
Yeah.
It hurt me to see that episode because I worship the ground that man walked on because you know he played a hell of a Superman back in the day.
Yeah.
And,
Once that came out, then everything else started coming. I'm like, you're an asshole for real. Okay.
It's like, oh, you really do think like this, and yet you were on a set full of black people, and you walked off unscathed.
Yeah.
Dwayne probably holding him up there for real.
All you hear is Lois and that nigga. That's the name of it. What was that? Lois
I
and that
gotta go
nigga.
rewatch that sometime. Hillman Files has kept me up to date on all the references.
Oh, the Hillman Files is a treasure trove of stuff from A Different World. Absolute treasure.
I feel like just from what
you don't hear negative anything. When it came to Different World, you didn't hear anything negative.
Right.
Nothing. Look, when Denzel Washington shows up on the set and it's a blooper reel, yeah.
I kind of missed the 90s crossover era or the 90s, 80s crossover. Like, I didn't know there was a whole thing where, what was it? James Avery just walked in on the set of Family Man.
Yeah, just walked right, just went from one set to another just because he could.
Yeah.
There was a show called In the House, and apparently Carlton is in an episode.
Yeah. He's in I think it's the second or third season. He's a doctor. He plays a doctor. It's not Carlton, but it's
one episode he's straight up Carlton Banks. Then he comes back as a new role.
As a new person.
The first time they meet him, he's stalking Ashley on a date.
Yeah. So it's you figure when James Avery's character shows up on Family Matters, me and my brother were like, wait a minute. So he done walked all the way from Bel Air to Chicago. Come on now. But it was Black Renaissance. It was Black Renaissance. That's what it was.
You had two of America's black dads in one room.
No, all of that had to happen so that we could get the How to Get Away with Murder scandal crossover episode.
and boy, was it an episode. They were waiting on that.
I could never get behind Scandal because the first thing, my wife, she watched it. I watched it with her. I'm like, so she's basically a side chick. She's a side chick with power. This is
every single role since I Think I Love My Wife.
Kerry Washington has played the side piece. That is
true. She has played it. Has she ever played the main chick in anything?
I don't think she's ever played main.
Little Man was the only one.
Little Man was the wife in Little Man.
Little Man was before that movie, though.
It was.
I think that's the only time I've seen.
Scandal's worth watching because from what I've been told, I never finished it, but from what I've been told, it seems inviting enough. I mean, they damn near make wine parties because ABC had a nice little promotion they did on Thursdays talking about you can have a wine party. I said, this is not geared toward my demographic.
I'm like, we got a black main character, but this don't feel geared towards me whatsoever.
Right.
Like, we're gonna have a Henny party. What you talking about?
There is one comic book that to this day I just knew. I just knew. I'm like, oh, this is too black for y'all, and I know it.
I said that.
In the crew.
Black Panther and the crew. I said that.
Black Panther, Storm, Misty Knight, Luke shows up in one of them, and Gateway, not Gateway. Gateway's the
Gateway is the
it was Gateway.
Yeah,
and they dealt with it. And there's actually a run of Black Panther Reginald Hudlin does, and the story arc is literally called 3 the Hard Way, and it's Luke Cage, Black Panther, and Blade. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to cross none of them at the same damn time. Nah, I'm good.
But here's the thing: the sales from that it didn't disappoint. It wasn't a flop. The sales actually outdid current runs at the time.
Yeah. Like they drove off like in a Cadillac and stuff and everything. I'm like, oh, they went black. The drop top caddy, it was black. I'm like, oh,
y'all they just saved the crew, so they had a caddy.
Nah, but yeah, Black Panther and the Crew is one of those books that I think they made it 5 issues in.
Yeah,
and they canceled it.
Yep.
Yeah,
5 issues and they went.
And it was one of the few times that the way it was being done, it was one of the few times I didn't recognize Storm in regular clothes, because even her hair was in a head wrap. She was wearing sunglasses. She was stylish as always, but I had no clue. I didn't know it was her until a creature came or something, and then Gale Force wins, the head wrap came off, hair was whipping in the air, and I'm like, yo, she was there the whole fucking time. All right.
Back and forth. Okay.
They sent Storm to Ann Taylor.
That woman has never worn a bad outfit. I'm just saying.
Period.
It's almost zipping to the contract.
Right. So well, we're getting ready to wrap this one up. Y'all know we revisiting this, right?
Yeah.
It's too much media out there.
Because I just thought about 3 more shows as you were talking. I'm like, damn it.
My Brother and Me, Girlfriends, The Game was good. Sparks,
Raising Dion.
Raising Dion
was another one.
I really don't like how they did Girlfriends though, because they just left us on a cliffhanger. Like, what?
Yeah. They gave it tribute in a Blackish episode. It's kind of like a send off, which was nice. But as far as what was one of the others we just said? Oh, The Game.
Yeah.
It
was the spinoff. It was the spinoff.
If The Game was gonna come back, The Game was a spinoff of Girlfriends. I completely forgot about that.
Because Melody was Tracy Ellis Ross's cousin.
Yeah, she was a cousin to one of the main characters, and she was like, "Oh, I got a boyfriend who plays football, and I'm in med school." And then they got picked up over there, and supposedly they told them pick one: Girlfriends or The Game.
Yep, because they were not on at the same time.
You were not gonna have 2.
Put it together. Could have made it a spy thriller called The Girlfriend's Game.
And then The Game got, and then they brought it back, and you could have just left it dead if you was gonna do that.
Yeah, we're bringing it back. We're gonna make it more serious. I'm like, where was the fun in all of that?
It ran for like what 6, 9 seasons,
give or take.
They could have put it together, made it a spy thriller called The Girlfriend's Game. It would have been no humor.
Once they did a revival, you didn't see a football again. For 6
seasons. So dope.
Yeah.
You didn't see a football for 6 seasons during that entire revival, and you can tell they all kind of gave up on working out.
And
at the end of the show,
and even then, Jason Momoa was running rampant on network television.
Being the abusive ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you can kind of tell everybody in their show was like fit in the beginning, and they was like in the hot boy era. At the end of the show, everybody gave up. Is just wearing hoodies and just not.
They saw Ballers and went, "Oh shit, never mind."
At that point, I think that's what was killing them, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, between Ballers and Playmakers, Jesus, we'll never see those shows again.
Right. So here we go.
Wrap-up protocol initiated, Captain.
We got Allura in the building from the Allura Hour and the Space Blurs coming up soon. Check this out. Tell everybody where they can find you, dear.
Hey guys, you guys can find me on the Lauren Hour Network over on YouTube. Also, check out my website, theLaurenHourNetwork.com. And I also have a new show that aired today too, which is called Steamy Stories with Laura D. Kind of a erotica type of thing. So that's on Apple and all other streaming platforms. So make sure y'all check that out too.
Now,
brown
people,
cow.
now, you horny toads out there, she is married.
brown
I'm just
brown
letting you
cow.
know.
Definitely married.
So she's Zane, in other words. She's
Pretty much. Zane.
That's what she's saying. Okay, she's already taken,
Give
but
her a
she's making
show,
everybody
I
else.
hope if she gets a show, though, I hope her budget is higher. Like,
I'll be
They
a
was
gopher
hiring-
on set. I'll do it. Oh,
They was hiring extras from I Love New York to be in Zane's show.
Oh, good lord.
Talk about shows that are better off. Laura, always welcome back. Every time we get together, it's a fun time. It's actually every time you, me, and Navy are on the same place. They be talking about all the other stuff. We be trying to get into we do like gear it over to this nerd shit. We don't care about none of that over there.
Facts.
So we stay. We were just like, So did you see that anime the other night? Yeah.
Right.
Yo, that cliffhanger
I
was
try
balls.
to reel us back in though. You notice that, right?
Like,
no, but they're a great group of people, man. They just silly with it. They're like, y'all just some nerds. I'm like, it's in the name.
We shocked the hell out of them on the road to the record. They shocked. We kept talking nerd stuff there. And those who weren't into it were confused. It's like you could see the 56K baud modem sound going off in their head.
It's like, wait, Fury ain't the only one. Fuck no.
Right.
Oh no, and we
Like,
sexy
we're a
with it
whole
too.
collective. What are you talking about?
I was like, I'm the man on the wall. I know shit about a lot of shit. I can't help that. So
that's true.
Tafari, talk to the people.
Hola, I am also found on the internet on this name on all platforms. I also do things on the internet every Monday because Mondays are terrible and I try to make them suck a little bit less. I also do all the editing and behind the scenes stuff for the Blur's Eye View podcast. Whichever one of y'all have us running on like 50 different iPads on 50 different accounts, thank you. We are closing on the goal of 3,000 hours. We are currently at 2646.
Nice.
So little over 350 hours, and then we are good to go. So binge this weekend. It helps. Black History Month. We have an extra DLC day, so feel free to act up, call it a work, or just don't go in.
Or you can do like we do here and celebrate an extra day out the year.
Yeah.
You're going to get all this.
That part. Yes, that part.
Just tell me you're taking a black day off. What they're going to do, check. But yes, be sure to support one another. Also, the trolls are running rampant this month. They are everywhere. They're on my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Google Plus, wherever you can be found on the internet. The trolls and the blackface bot accounts can also be found. Don't take the bait. Block them. Ban them. Do not spend 30 days in meta maximum security. It is not worth it.
Nice. Or you can sit back like most kings do, and knowing that you have an army behind you, just say, "Let them come."
It's not even that. It's when you try to clap back and then you get hit with that. Are you sure you want to post this? If you hit okay, that's the automatic 30. I know they hit Roxy with one. They took her entire Facebook post down. It was just, it was somebody left a comment she replied to. They took the whole post.
But then she claps back again. She was like, "You sorry bitches." It was like, God, I love Roxy. I love her.
Facebook is broke anyway. Come to Blur Station. We ain't got you dancing in the music videos and shit.
That part.
But yeah, support a black cosplayer, support a black creator. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if anything we've said, including my shirt, bothers you, you can sick my duck like an Outcast song.
Nice.
Was that too fast for the people out there?
Give me a second. They'll catch you.
Oh, the cinematic assassin will be watching. Talk to the people.
Yeah, you can find me all over the interwebs at Mayhem Media. That's MAYEHEM Media. I talk movies and comics and TV, and I specialize in the movies where things go boom and the sound is profound. I'm also a Funko aficionado, so if you want to know where to get it, I'll at your boy. I'm sort of the plug in these streets, you know what I mean?
Actually, they just announced a chase for the Gear 5 drop. I might need your plug on that one.
Nicole.
The man has just received a new challenge.
Because I'm not ordering 6 on the hopes of getting one that's good.
Come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. Very important.
I was gonna say it's very important, right?
I'm so tired. That was poor. I'm sorry.
Kira, you too.
They've already started in the comments field.
My kid does know
not today.
Cursive and Spanish and Chinese. So when the collapse of the world happens, good thing y'all know me because she's clearly going to take over.
He will be our interpreter and ambassador.
1,000%.
She will be wearing the Sailor Moon outfit the entire time, right?
Listen, it would only be right. Cosplaying Sailor Moon while dictating the entire world. I like it.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Guys, mental health is really important. I know that sounds crazier every time we come off a wild tangent and I say that, but I actually sincerely mean it. So please, please, please take your meds, take your PTO, take a deep breath, and have an amazing day.
Nicole and my second in command.
They've already started.
I thought y'all liked me.
Are we having a Bama Blurs moment?
Anyone, even Bama said
it's not even Bama. Bama's out.
He's like the last 15 minutes. He said, "It's not me. I'm not going to start. It's not me."
Yo, she had me a fiery biscuits. She had me a fiery biscuits. Okay, that's what she.
Fiery biscuit. Fiery bit.
Oh
okay,
my
wait a
God.
minute.
I need to write that one down.
Fiery biscuit sounds like some off an Applebee's menu.
I'm gonna spring that one on my wife when I wake her up.
Girl, let me see them gator fritters.
Damn.
Nah, I'm not trying to die.
I was told high school during the Mean Girls era, so butter your muffins was one that was often used.
Oh my gosh.
Talk to the people, Davey.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blurs of all ages, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Once again, it is your Frosty Bearded Blurred Corn here on this 29-day month of Black excellence and amazingness, which is all year round. But some of y'all decided to put it in 29 days. So guess what? That's your fault. If you want to hang out with me, want to see what I'm doing, I'm right here, all along there. That name right there. It's the only one I have. No one else will give it to me. You can find me across all social media. I just released a new video on my YouTube channel. Is it okay to be a blurred? So go check it out because it's great commentary because people have been asking that question for quite a while. And I'm here to tell you, just watch the video, have the discussion because these napkins don't know, but you do. Let's see what else going on.
How to be a blurred?
How
to be a blurred? Or is it okay to be a blurred? Whatever your last stuff.
It is okay to be a blurred. That's what it is, because it is. It's more than okay. We are magnificent with it. You know why? Because we're nerdy with melanation, which means it's the perfect formula. We stir it up all the time, no matter what. Whatever it is, no matter who we do it and what we're talking about. Conventions are our bag, anime is our bag, gaming is our bag. Shoot, we can make anything our bag. You know why? Because we sent it down. But I will say this in conclusion. Support positive content creators. Stop giving your support to these garbage people who want to just draw you in to get your eyeballs on their content. They don't give a shit about you. If there's someone that's encouraging, they're inspirational, they create artwork, they create content that makes you smile and makes you feel good and makes you think, you give them your attention. You come to Blurred Station, you give it your attention. You come to Blurred's Eye View, you give us your attention. And all these amazing content creators right here, you give them their attention. You know why? Because we're all about the positive information and the positive vibes coming forth. So if you're not about that, just stay the fuck away from me.
And with that being said,
when you cross 50, you
it never fails.
I was trying. I said, okay, positive,
There we go.
inspirational. And it's like, and no fucks given. Okay. That threw me off at the very end. But okay, guys.
Before you go on, Spartan, I think I know what Kermit the Frog feels like now every show. He's just trying to hold it together, and there's always some level of chaos. And I'm seeing it.
I don't know why, but it's Kermit the Frog when he's doing the ABCs with the Black Quartet always plays in my head whenever somebody plays Kermit the Frog. I don't know why.
If you guys go ahead, Spartan, because I'm gonna let you do your sign off, and I'll show people what I mean.
Oh Lord,
Kermit the Frog. All right, good Lord.
Hi ho there, Backflax. You can do this. Come on.
I'm trying. All I hear is A, B, C, D. I was like, oh God, me and my kid have been watching way too much Sesame Street. Anyway, Black Spartan is where you can find me. Blackbox447 is where I am on the socials as I do reviews on everything that I watch, read, and sometimes gym stuff because I like to do push-ups. My shows, How the Frick We Got Here and Get Big, can both be found on there, wherever podcasts can be seen or heard, especially after tomorrow, which we'll be covering what Xbox is going to do in their showcase next week, as well as trailers that came out for A Quiet Place and other movies that also include Franklin, which was also seen here on Blurred's Eye View. Also, check out the blurred'seyeview.org site where I do write column for wrestling. Why? Because wrestling is real and people are fake. Shout out to Mr. Kennedy for that one. As we've been saying, guys, unity, support, just don't like and share. Tell people about it. Word of mouth is the greatest thing we have against the algorithm. So F the algorithm. And just like with cons go, guys, 3 simple rules I always keep. Number 1, respect the cosplayer at all times. You do not want them to get a guy like me because a guy like me will politely but ever so quickly, expeditiously help you toward the exit. Probably using your face as a broom. Number 2, wash your ass, whether you go to a con or just going out. I mean, people, soap, deodorant, mouthwash, all these. You know what? Hair grease, Blue Magic is still a thing. You can use Blue Magic. It's okay. You can use shea butter. It's okay. Just don't drown yourself in Axe. That's all we ask. And number 3 is the same rule I have for myself as for everybody else, guys, in the world that we're living in. Simply put, be nice, be kind to each other. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool.
Right on. Hi, everybody. I'm your man on the wall, Chris Fury. Thank you for tuning in. And while I'm saying that, I'm just going to give them their shine. Thank you, Nicole.
They're still doing it.
And it continues, ladies and gentlemen.
You can find Blurred's Eye View wherever you listen to your podcasts, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Be On Air Network. You can also show your love on the YouTube channel by hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can check out all this wild stuff that you see here going on before you. Thank you, Second in Command. I thought I love you, though.
I need ice cream after this episode.
This is the one time Bama can sit there and say, this has got nothing to do with me.
It was just...
the plug came through before this show, so I'm just gonna indulge.
Thank you, ladies. Gosh. It wasn't Bama, and
Jesus.
So to end this on a positive note from another band episode, right? When Huey's talking to Granddad and he's asking, "What do you do when you can't do nothing? But there's nothing you can do. You do what you can." And what I'm doing right now is trying to keep a straight face through all of this. So.
Oh, that's not happening. I refuse to let this go.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All of you. I'm just.
I never want to have a level of energy.
I never want to hear Kira talk about our behavior ever again.
Yeah. Don't forget chick muffins.
Oh, boy.
Comment section is the couch post Cat Williams at this point. It's just.
I will never be able to enjoy fiery biscuits ever again.
God.
When you talk about intrusive thoughts. Anyway,
I don't know which direction y'all are on YouTube, but grow up.
But show your love on the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast. You can always check us out on Always Press Record. That's APR TV on your Roku and Amazon devices. Yes, we're on streaming as well. And really soon, we will be on another streaming service under another banner Blurred News Network, because we are the leading news team for Blurred News for Blurred Station. We have a lot of news coming up, a lot of big things to announce. So you still have a chance to jump on board. $10.99 a month. After 36 months, you get to own a piece of the action. Netflix can't tout that. Disney Plus, Paramount, none of these other streaming services can tout that. The money you pay into it, you own a part of the company. Not only do you own a part of the company, it helps fund a lot of the live action assets that will be going down, including issue 1, the Blurred News Network, and Undead Horizon with Jarrell Patton, and the youngest makeup artist in the game, his daughter Paint with Dakota. So shout out to them as well. If you want to see us at your local con, talk to the con owners. And tell them to reach out to us because you want to see us at a panel. You like what you see here, we'll bring it to you live. As long as it's not during the winter months. Unless we flying overseas somewhere. I don't know. But we'll talk. Until then, remember to check us out every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube, Twitch, and IG at 8 p.m. Eastern. Have fun with all of that. Remember to subscribe, show your love, hit those numbers, get the numbers up. We're getting closer and closer every day as well. Thank you to Allure. She's welcome back anytime.
Yes. Thanks for having me. I had a really nice time.
I'm glad you did. This is what we do. This is what we do.
Word out about us. Okay, we're just a humble group of blurs.
Shout out to all the Black indie creatives that are out there. Whether they're dealing in comics, whether they're dealing in making their own films, whether they're dealing in art. Ozzy the Virus, he's making major moves. Major moves.
That's a mega guy.
Yeah, the Carl Joneses, the Jason Michael Primroses, Hellspawn cosplay, Sir Julius cosplay. That latest cosplay, if you're going to Katsucon, look out for them brothers because there's a Power Ranger setup that they got that is sick.
There's still some colors out there for people that want to.
They're looking for more. They're looking for more. So hit up Hellspawn cosplay. They have the pictures of the ones they have left, and let me tell you, damn. So that's all I had to say about that. So, like I do with every sign off, remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, encourage yourself and others. I'm Chris Fury with our guest Allure from the Alluring Hour. Check her out on that show, the Space Blurs and the sultry. What's it called? The sultry,
steamy stories with Allure D.
Steamy stories. The old sultry, steamy is right there. I was in the wheelhouse. You can check us out everywhere. Be able to follow all of us. Follow all of us. Show your love. And until Tuesday, we'll see you guys.